the aftermath of World War II, humanity stood in terror of its own creation. A weapon capable of wiping out entire cities, unleashed twice upon Japan. The atomic bomb changed warfare forever, and what followed was not peace, but a race to dominate destruction itself. This is the story of the nuclear arms race when two superpowers gambled with the fate of the world. The atomic beginning, August 1945. The United States drops atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan surrenders. The world realizes something terrifying. Whoever holds nuclear power holds the future. In 1949, the Soviet Union detonates its first atomic bomb, RDS-1, shocking the world and shifting the balance of power overnight. Now, two nations, America and the USSR, rest not just for dominance, but for survival. By the early 1950s, both sides begin mass-producing bombs. The U.S. tests its first hydrogen bomb, Ivy Mike, in 1952, a weapon roughly 450 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. The Soviets test an early, non-weaponizable thermonuclear design, RDS-6 South, in 1953, followed by a true, missile-ready, multi-stage H-bomb, RDS-37, in 1955. The race accelerates. Each nation builds more warheads, more missiles, and deadlier submarines. By the late 1950s, both possess enough firepower to destroy the planet many times over. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction emerged, the idea that no one will attack because everyone would die. Crisis and escalation, October 1962. U.S. reconnaissance planes reveal Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from the U.S. coast. President John F. Kennedy demands their removal. For 13 tense days, the world teeters on the edge of nuclear war. American naval forces enforce a quarantine of Cuba. Soviet ships approach. One wrong move and humanity could vanish in fire. Finally, Nikita Khrushchev agrees to withdraw the missiles in exchange for a public U.S. promise not to invade Cuba and the secret removal of U.S. Jupiter missiles from Turkey. The world exhales. The message is clear: we came within hours of the end. The arms race does not end, it mutates. By the 1970s, both sides possess intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, capable of striking anywhere on Earth within minutes. Submarines patrol the oceans silently, armed with nuclear warheads ready to fire. Defense spending source. The United States builds Minuteman missiles. The Soviets counter with the SS-18 Satan, one of the most powerful ICBMs ever deployed. De-escalation and disarmament. As tensions rise, so does global fear. Citizens' protests for peace. In 1963, the partial test ban treaty bans nuclear tests in the atmosphere, underwater, and in space. Then in 1972, the SALT-I Agreement limits certain types of strategic nuclear weapons, marking the first successful limits on superpower arsenals. SALT in 1979, though never ratified by the U.S. Senate, was largely respected. Later treaties include INF Treaty 1987, eliminating certain intermediate-range missiles. START-I 1991, reducing the number of deployed strategic warheads. Each brings hope, but none erase the threat completely. The Cold War's legacy. When the Soviet Union collapses in 1991, the Cold War ends, but thousands of nuclear warheads remain. For former Soviet states, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and Kazakhstan initially possessed these weapons, creating fears of theft or misuse. By 1996, Ukraine, Belarus, and Kazakhstan had transferred their warheads to Russia, leaving it as the sole nuclear successor state. Today, 9 nations possess nuclear arms: the US, Russia, UK, France, China, India, Pakistan, Israel undeclared, and North Korea. The race may have slowed, but it has never truly ended. The nuclear arms race began with fear and continues with uncertainty. It forced humanity to confront its darkest potential and to realize that power without restraint leads only to ruin. As long as these weapons exist, peace is never guaranteed. Only our choices will decide whether history repeats or survive.